We have a wild game recipe for you today. You're going to utilize some of that venison hamburger that's in your freezer. My wife Nikki brought this recipe from Michigan. Everybody up there makes it.
Everybody has Glumpkies.
What?
Glumpkies. Cabbage rolls.
What?
Cabbage rolls.
Cabbage rolls. Now basically, what do you do, Nikki? You start with a head of cabbage.
Cabbage, you got to get your cabbage boiling, and then you just mix up burger with rice, a little bit of tomato sauce with your secret ingredients, and you cook it.
Okay, show us what you got to do with the cabbage, if you will.
I always cut the heart of it out first, just so that when it boils, these will fall off easier that way.
Oh, you put the whole...
I put the whole thing in.
The whole cabbage
right.
in. There you go.
And as it boils, they're going to fall off.
Now, we've got some venison burger meat right there.
Need some
you
rice.
Need some rice. Okay, there you go.
I don't really measure. I just kind of pour. Is that bad?
You know, a lot of people, they want specific measurements. Just kind of go with, if you go with your smell and your taste as you go along, and just kind of develop a feel. That was probably a half a cup.
You think?
Maybe something like that.
Garlic, salt, and pepper. That's it.
Garlic.
And pepper.
Salt and pepper.
That's all it is. And that's it. That's ready.
So that's it.
That's it for that.
So is that the amount of rice you want in it?
Mm-hmm. Looks good.
Now, what happens is you wrap this hamburger in cabbage, and that cooks in a marinara sauce. And here's how I like to make that. I'll take just a little bit of garlic salt.
That's a lot.
And then some basil. You gotta have some basil. Put some oregano. Then we're gonna take some onions, cut them up pretty fine, to cut the acid of the tomatoes. Now, people may think this is crazy, but I like a lot of sugar. There's 2 heaping tablespoons. And some red wine or some cooking wine. A little more oregano. Get it smelling just like you want it. And just keep mixing and tasting, mixing and tasting. When it has a good sweet taste with the oregano and basil and enough salt so you get that balance of sweet and sour, and then you know you got it. So that's the sauce that this will be cooking in. Okay, Nikki, what happens from here on out?
All right, we got to get the cabbage.
Okay, let's take a look at that.
Okay. And see, now we have these pieces of cabbage that are nice and loose.
So that's the reason you're boiling. If you try to do it if it's too hard, they'd break.
They break,
so
right. You can even cook them more than this. This is pretty good. So now we're going to wrap little Glumpkie presents. Glumpkie presents. I just kind of make it. It depends on how big you want them. How big you want them?
I want big.
You want big?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm hungry.
Sometimes I make little ones. It depends on if it's your main. Is that good enough, do you think?
Yeah.
For you?
And the thing is, you layer these too, right? I mean, you
right.
can put like 2 or 3 layers, and depending on the size of your pan, and depending on how many people are coming over.
Right.
And I don't believe we've ever had anybody over that doesn't like their Glumpkies. Even people who don't like that kind of stuff.
Right. If you like cabbage, you can't not love this. See, they just like a little present.
You just get a little package.
Yeah. Well, actually, probably be able to put about 4 in there before you. Got 4 of them. And let's put your sauce on there. You want to put your sauce on?
Okay. You know, put it on there like you like it.
I just make layers. Actually, I'm going to pour a bunch on here. Kind of cover it. And we could layer it more if we had a bigger pan. Go like...
Yeah, if you had a big saucepan or a big baking pan, you could put another layer and then another
more
layer.
Sauce.
I've seen you put it 3 and 4 deep.
Maybe a little more sauce. And that's it. We just cook it for about 3 or 4 hours, and they're wonderful.
So they absorb the taste of those tomatoes and that sauce, and then you got that nice venison meat in there. And if it wasn't for all that sugar and salt I put on it, it'd be really healthy for you.
That's it.
But it's really good. All right, we got the oven on 350.
Ready
Do
to
you
cook?
cover it, or you leave it open?
I cover it. Give it about 3 hours.
If you take a lot of deer, you probably have a lot of hamburger, and you're probably looking for things to use it for. You take that cabbage out, you roll it up, seal it up, put your marinara on it, stick it in the oven, a couple hours. The great thing about this is if you've got a lot of people coming, and you got to entertain a whole lot of people, you've done as many as 40 or 50 people.
Right. Make about 100 of them.
Yeah, you can take it and put these in a whole roaster, but you just basically take this and expand it for however many people you might have coming. Now here's our neat little cabbage package. Glumpkies. How do you spell that?
I don't have a clue. Cabbage. C-A.
Glumpkie. I think it's Polish, right?
Yeah.
You go north, they cook some pretty good stuff. Hey, up there they cook something called pasties.
Well, they do, don't they?
Remember that?
Yeah,
Up in the UP?
tried that. Like potatoes?
That's a whole other recipe, though.
Yeah.
This is delicious. You can cook it for a bunch of guests. You can cook it for dinner. It's quick. Glumpkies. Say it one more time.
Glumpkies.
Glumpkies. Yummy.